You mean oodles and noodles?
Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I am literally so excited for today's video because today I'm showing you how to make instant traditional ramen. It's neither instant nor traditional, but it's as close as you're gonna get in the amount of time that this takes. Now, if you ever search for a ramen recipe, you know that shit takes forever because in the traditional ramen recipe, you wanna make your own broth. So that means
taking some meat, cooking that meat, taking the bones of that meat, putting it in a pot of water with some onions and garlic and other aromatics and boiling that for hours.
But like, who has the time for that? Like, especially after sitting in 5 o'clock traffic or when you're drunk or hungover, which is the 3 times that I want ramen the most. So what this recipe does is develop those flavors in like a fraction of the time, okay? So I'm so excited for this recipe, guys. When I posted this on Instagram a few months ago, so many people were like, I need this. And that's what really made me be like, all right, I'm doing this. I'm posting videos, I'm sharing my recipe, because most people, when I mention ramen to people in real life, I'm like, yo, do you fuck with ramen? And people are like,
You mean oodles and noodles?
and I'm like, no, you freaking uncultured swine. I mean like legit ramen. So when hella people were like, I need this, I was like, yes, let me show you guys what's good. So that's what I'm about to do. Let me show you guys what's good. Okay, so I'm starting with my go-to chicken seasoning, some salt and pepper, onion and garlic powder, my favorite Cajun seasoning, and some oregano. And I'm gonna flip those over and do the same thing to the other side. I swear by this combo, y'all. Like, it's not OD. Like, you're not gonna be like over seasoned, but we're also not gonna pretend like a pinch of salt is enough. Okay? So I'm just gonna brown my chicken on both sides. You can totally finish this off in the pan, but I want to go ahead and get started on my broth. And I also don't want those seasonings that have fallen off to burn and then make my broth all bitter. So I'm just gonna pop these in the oven on like 250 just until my broth is done. And for my broth, I have like a quarter of an onion that I kept in chunks because I'm gonna fish those out later. And I'm also adding in a tablespoon of garlic, which ends up being like 2 or 3 cloves. But do your thing with your garlic. However much you want, just do you. It's garlic. I'm going to add in my chili oil. This is one of those ingredients that if you can't find, if you don't have access to, it's totally okay. Like cayenne pepper works just as fine to add an extra level of heat. And I'm also going to take a green onion, slice that in half, and throw that in there, so I can get some of those flavors out, but still keeping it mostly whole. And now I can add in my water. I'm using like 1.5 cups, and I'm going to add in another 1/2 cup later. But once we get this to a boil, we can go ahead and start to season. So I am adding in like 1/2 teaspoon of chicken bouillon. And I'm also adding in a teaspoon of shrimp bouillon. Again, one of those things that if you can't find, it's totally okay. But I came across this in the store and I had to try it to imitate my favorite spicy seafood instant ramen flavor. And now you can give that a stir and a taste and see whatever else your heart desires to add next. And for me, that was gochugaru, which are red pepper flakes. Again, cayenne red pepper does the job, okay? Now I'm adding in some gochujang. Again, if you can't find gochujang, if you don't have an Asian market near you, if you can't Amazon Prime it, which is what I do when I'm feeling extra lazy, it's okay. But I implore you to try this stuff out. It's really spicy. So basically what they do is take these really hot peppers and make it into this really good paste. It mixes well for marinades, but that's another video for another time. So I'm just going to use some slight wrist work to get my gochujang dissolved, and then I'm pretty much done with my broth. Look at that. Beautiful. Now we can go ahead and get a pot of water going for our noodles. And while we bring that to a boil, I'm going to go ahead and fish out these veggies. Normally, with a traditional ramen broth, you have a really clean, very smooth broth. So that's kind of what we're trying to get at here. Now that my veggies are out, I can go ahead and add in the rest of my water, and my pot that we're going to pretend is the same pot should be boiling. I'm using fresh lo mein noodles because my local market was out of fresh ramen and fresh chow mein. So this is what you should go for if you cannot find those. But the dry pack works just as good. I usually throw that straight into my broth. But if you can find fresh, go for it. I'm just going to bring these to a boil for a few minutes, rinse them off, and then I'm going to finish them out in my broth. At this point, I'm going to add in my miso. This is like my last ingredient. If you can't find it, it's okay. But miso is a very traditional ramen ingredient. It's full of nutrients. And normally I would add this in before my noodles. I kind of forgot about it. But that's okay. It's totally okay. Once that is completely incorporated and melted in, I can go ahead and add in my bok choy. If you don't like bok choy, you can add in another vegetable. You could do like bean sprouts. You could do pickled mustard greens. But I'm adding in a little bit of butter. I'm going to give those a taste. And I think I needed some more spice, so I added in some more gochugaru before cracking in my eggs. And I love eggs, so I'm adding in 2. And I'm just going to cover that up. While my eggs are cooking, I can go ahead and chop my green onions and my chicken so they are ready for me by the time my eggs are finished. And now we can plate up. I'm adding this to my favorite ramen bowl, topping it with my chicken, green onions, some soy sauce, a little bit more chili oil, and some sesame seeds. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this recipe. It's so easy, so quick. If you do, try it out. Let me know how you love it. Send me pictures of your ramen. Until then, like, subscribe, comment, follow me on Instagram, and I will see you next time.